This is part two of the Peaks and Valleys Bill Postmus story, written by George Watson from August of 2007. This is the second part. I'm going to put it on a YouTube video, and they're only 10 minutes long. A political animal. Friends and colleagues said Postmus' current situation stems from his character. One high desert Republican likened him to the general manager of a baseball team, a man who builds organizations and puts people where they need to be to succeed. In their own negative way, they are good at organization, said Al Vogler, a GOP activist from Hesperia whose wife is the mayor of the city. And that's on Bill. He takes several levels of an organization and makes sure they are well integrated. Couple that with intelligence, a hunger for all things political, and what many describe as a disarming charm that makes old ladies melt, and you have a man with a bold future. Others were not so kind. Bill is atrocious at building relationships, said an executive committee member who has known Postmus for years. Being a good politico and being a good relationship builder are two totally different things. A lack of balance eventually shows itself. At the same time, most agree that few are better than Postmus at sealing deals to make things happen. According to a state official who has known Postmus for years, a defining moment came during his first campaign for supervisor when he gained the endorsement of the San Bernardino County Safety Employees Benefit Association, one of the political powerhouses in the region. That was when Bill, in his mind, decided that his political future depended on his ability to cut a deal, the source said. Now you have a man who's going into politics under the presumption that the way you get ahead is to cut deals. Part of that is the reality of politics, but there is a place when you cross the line. It becomes not about getting a better deal for the area, but for your own political desires. Postmus scoffed at such notions. In order for me to be successful as a first district supervisor, and I had to cut structured compromises that didn't benefit my district, but benefited other districts, Postmus said. I would say that I was able to successfully use deal making to assist the high desert in bringing more resources to them. Secrets and scandals. As a county supervisor, Postmus was embroiled in a number of scandals, ranging from a secret negotiations with a major developer that was suing the county to investigations of county land transactions. Efforts by Postmus and Supervisor Paul Beyond to settle a lawsuit filed by the Colonies Partners, a major upland developer, were criticized by county attorneys who claimed they were asked to leave a meeting between the county and the colonies. Once the lawyers were out of the room, Postmus and Beyond negotiated a $77.5 million settlement with the developers. County attorneys objected in a letter to the rest of the Board of Supervisors, claiming the deal was not in the county's best interests. The lawsuit was eventually settled for more than $100 million. Other county officials criticized Postmus and Beyond for conducting the negotiations in secret. The rift amongst top county officials brought out allegations of misconduct related to county land transactions. The county hired a top Los Angeles attorney to investigate, touting its commitment to open government and accountability, but when the report was finally turned in, Postmus and County Administrative Officer Mark Uffer announced no criminal wrongdoing had been uncovered and declared the case closed. For months, Postmus refused to authorize the release of the report. When the report was finally released, the findings raised questions about the county's purchase of a high desert jail, a project Postmus had backed. Postmus criticized the report and the investigation, claiming it overreached and was full of hyperbole. In the past year, questions regarding Postmus' whereabouts during the Sawtooth and Millard fires in July 2006 prompted the Sun and the California First Amendment Coalition to sue the county, seeking his calendars and communications with other county employees. County officials have given differing accounts of Postmus's involvement in coordinating the county's response to the fires, with some saying he was intimately involved and others saying he was missing in action. His calendars, released under court order, included no entries for a vacation, and county attorneys say there are no records of any communication at all between Postmus and other county officials in July and June of 2006. In his recent interview with The Sun, Postmus denied being too secretive and for the first time in a year addressed the question of his whereabouts during the fires. That first week of the mysterious disappearance of Bill Postmus when I was on vacation, we were actually with my family burying my grandmother's ashes in Wisconsin, he said. His grandmother, whom he lived with for a time, had died in January, and it was the first chance for the family to gather together, he said. Where he was during the second week and whether he had any contact with county officials during the fires remains unclear. Postmus did not say, and Ailman expressed exasperation when asked later. No more answers would be given on the subject, he said. In recent months, Postmus has retreated to focus on his work as assessor. He's rarely answered questions from the media, and many local officials say they have struggled to speak with him. Mostly they hear from him via text messages sent on his BlackBerry. People have asked for a year and a half, "Where's Bill?" said Barbara Stanton, a high desert radio personality who was highly critical of Postmus. The road ahead if Postmus is down, he's definitely not out, according to local politicos. Assessor Postmus remains one of the highest ranking politicians in the county, said former Republican State Senator Jim Bolte, who is still considered a political kingmaker in the region. With any political career there are cycles. Very few political careers go up in a straight line. I can't think of many political leaders in our community who haven't suffered setbacks from time to time. The true test of a leader isn't whether or not you win all of your battles, because no one wins all of their battles. The true test of a leader is how you react to the losses. Postmus himself is optimistic. He talks about plans he has for the county party, even though he doesn't serve on it, while laying out plans for his office. In the coming weeks, he said, he intends to announce that his office will continue reducing property values on thousands of homes because of the sagging market. The bottom line is I am jazzed and I have many, many more years of life ahead of me, Postmus said. As doors open, I will take a look at them and then go down that road.